Hi, I'm Heather
And
Roberts.
I am Veronica Adams, and together we are 1852 Media.
Welcome back to For Book's Sake. Oh my gosh, it's been so long since we recorded. I almost forgot how to do it.
I know, I had like a deer in the headlights moment there for a second. I was like, wait,
Oh,
oh, that's right. Oh, yes, of course, here we are.
yeah,
The new format for 2025 is new formatting.
it's new formatting. I was like, I will muddle through this, and we got through it. So,
Oh,
welcome back. Happy to be
yes.
here. We've had some scheduling conflicts, which is why we haven't had an episode so far. Some snow days,
Life be
some
lifing. Yes,
life be lifing. And so now we are recording on a Sunday
that's right.
afternoon, which we were dropping this tomorrow. So you are actually only hearing this a day
Yes,
later than
yes.
recorded. Look at us
All of
go.
our references will be
Um,
timely for a change.
I know. Our next episode, though, let me tease that
Yes,
real quick
this
because
is
we
a good
are really
one.
excited
I'm
about
very
that.
excited about
Yes.
this.
This is a guest episode, and we have a representative from Penn America coming on, and we are going to be talking about book
Yes.
banning. And if you recall, we did one of our legal breakdowns, if you will, of the lawsuits surrounding Penn America. So we're so excited that we have a representative
Circle
from
back and
them
touch
coming
base with
on.
them and hear from them directly
Yes,
about how their efforts are going. Yeah.
exactly. So we're going to hear it from the horse's mouth. What exactly is going on, and be able to have a further discussion about censorship and book banning in America right now. So look out for that. That one's going to be recorded in about a
Yes.
week. So and we'll drop it soon
Mhm.
after. So really excited about that.
Definitely.
But today we wanted to talk a little bit about some misinformation that we have been seeing flying around Romancelandia and just trying to dispel some of that. Because listen, we are in a clown show. We are aware we're in a clown show.
I like to call it the Wild West.
I
It's
mean,
just completely unregulated, right? Like we're all just
yeah.
kind of hustling, doing the best we can. Well, most of us are hustling, doing the best we can. Some of us are grifters, but yeah, like
Oh, in the industry, Wild Wild
there are
West.
no rules here, right? Like, and
Yeah.
people say some of the
Yeah.
craziest, dumbest shit ever, and I like that's how we got to this episode.
Yes. No, the industry, I totally agree with you. I meant more of our government
Girl,
is the clown show right
girl.
now. Um, so I understand that things are crazy. I guess that was my point. Things are nutty in the world right now. So it is completely understandable that you could see something and immediately believe it because things are believable
Well, I
now
mean,
that
yeah,
previously,
we obviously have
yeah,
a media literacy issue as a society
yes,
in this country in particular. Um, it's pretty easy to think that every single thing you see has veracity to it, right? Because it's been published in some way, shape, or form. Someone has put it out there on the internet in the form of content. So why would they do that?
with
Why would
confidence.
they do that if it's not true?
Right.
So yeah. Uh
So there's a lot of that going
discernment
on
is
right
very
now.
important.
Yes. So, well, let's see. The first thing, let's talk about Colleen Hoover,
Girl.
for example. Oh my God, so many rumors flying around about Colleen.
Well, the Blake Lively Justin Baldoni thing has gotten so completely messy. I'm not at all surprised that Coho has gotten dragged into the fray and that like there are now rumors and allegations and suspicions and questions about the future of her career. Like
Well, yes. I mean, people have said that she's deleted all of her social
she has not. I
media.
saw a story this morning she
She's
posted
not.
with a puppy on it. So cute.
Yeah, she's not deleted it. Maybe she's just limited. Who's seeing it?
I
I don't
listen, who
know.
hasn't limited their social recently?
Right, right. But she has not deleted all of her social media. She might have, deactivated some of it just because she doesn't want to deal with it. Um, I don't believe that the rumors about her not writing ever again in the future are true
Yeah.
either. That would be surprising to me. I imagine she doesn't need to, but she's a writer, and she loves to write. So I would be surprised if she never wrote anything again. She likely will be taking a long break because she can. And good for her.
Listen,
So,
E.L. James hasn't done much since the film options for 50 Shades.
right,
Like she hasn't had to. She's very selective
right.
about what she works on and what she's done since.
What projects she does, and
Colleen will
she
now
has
enjoy
written
that same
some.
privilege. And she should,
Exactly,
if that's her
as she should.
prerogative. Yeah.
So, yeah, calm down, everyone. Um, Speaking about the Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni situation, we are well aware we owe you a part 2. We are well aware. There has been so much that has dropped since we did
Yeah.
that first
You should
episode.
just transpose 2 clown emojis over our faces for the video right now because you and I thought, okay, the suits are out. We've got the allegations. We're going to go to trial. There will be a mediation. They'll
Yeah.
settle. It'll all go away, right? Oh no. No, no,
Oh,
no. We had
no.
no idea the shit that was still yet to be dropped. And my God, has it been a messy, what, 3 or 4 weeks since we first addressed the
Right.
lawsuits?
It's been a lot. And so we want to make sure that we're only providing accurate information and that we are able to provide proper
Yeah.
opinions, right? I want to be able to have some information to be able to fully talk about this so that we're not just another show where it's just throwing out allegations or whatnot.
I would
So,
love to throw out some allegations, but I'll save them for the episode.
yeah. Well, you can definitely do that. What we can tell you right now, I need to read some of the more recent
Yes.
filings, and I haven't had time to
Yeah.
do
Well,
that.
it
We
like
have some,
more stuff
I
comes out.
mean,
It's constant with these 2. And
it's
I don't
constant.
know in the name of in the name of transparency, I don't really know who to believe. I think there's probably a little bit of truth and a little bit of non-truth on both sides here. Um
Sure.
but like it just keeps getting messier and messier
It's
and
getting
it
messier. From like an overarching
yeah.
view, just looking down without having read in detail all the most recent
Yeah.
filings, I will say that it looks like both sides were super messy. Like both sides had different expectations of what was happening in
Yup.
here. And then you add in the publicist
Girl.
drama, and they were back channeling. They had their own intentions and their own
The
things that they were trying
PR
to
nightmare.
PR nightmare. When PR firms need a PR firm, that is a problem. Okay. It's a problem. So,
Yeah.
yeah, your publicist should not need their own publicist. Okay. But yeah, so that's a whole messy, drama tastic
Yeah.
filled lawsuit thing. And the plans that were put out about that. And then, I mean, the videos and the text messages that have been dropped since the initial lawsuits have been
Yeah.
filed.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot there that's dispelling some of the claims that were made, but then also it brings up other
Yeah.
questions. So there's just, yeah, we need to go through it a little closer with a little
Well,
deeper
what
with
we
a fine
need is
tooth
for
comb.
these people to go to mediation, file nothing for about 2 weeks, and then we can catch up and do a deep dive into where we're at while they're mediating. Like,
True, true. But didn't they just
yes,
decide not to do
I
mediation?
believe that one of the most recent filings has been petitions by both sides to forego mediation and just proceed to trial. Like
Which
any
is,
federal judge is going to be like, yeah, sure, let's avoid the dispute resolution process.
right.
Let me just get you right here
I've
on my
never
calendar. Does next summer work for you guys?
I've never known a federal judge that
Never.
would be like, "Yeah, sure.
Never.
Yeah.
If they can get a
No,
retired
they
judge or a professional mediator to settle it for them, they always will. Always.
always will." They don't want it on their
No.
calendar. They have enough shit on their
Right.
calendars, okay? They do not want something else. So they would prefer you work
Yeah.
it out. Now, granted, if you can't work it out, fine, whatever, but you've gone through the mediation process. I have never known a federal judge to be like, "Sure, you can dispel with mediation. Let's just go to trial." Like, so we'll see what happens. But right now, they don't want to go
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
mediation.
Yep.
So,
There are some subpoenas out there that are probably as broad as you would expect them to be and perhaps overbroad and will have to also be litigated via discovery
and
motion practice.
I have to throw it out there. It is very possible that somebody's social media accounts could be deactivated due to some of these subpoena
Absolutely.
processes that are happening.
Absolutely.
I don't know
Preservation
if
of
that is true or
evidence.
not. Yes. So that could be another reason why things are appearing the way that they are.
Ooh,
We don't know,
yeah.
but it is an idea.
One would anticipate that perhaps the author would have inside knowledge or
One would think.
data in the form of communications that
Yeah.
might need to be preserved and turned over to the attorneys as part of their preparations for trial and taking depositions and everything else that happens. But yeah,
So things are happening there, and
crazy.
we will get into the nitty-gritty when we have a moment to
Yes.
breathe and can actually dive into it in a proper way. But we recognize it's probably not just going to be two parts. This is going to be an ongoing
Until this
situation
case
until
settles or
resolved.
there's a verdict.
Yeah, which
We'll just have to have like a once monthly Blake and Justin check in. It did
I was going to
not, in
say
fact, end with us. It is
we did.
ongoing indefinitely, maybe into perpetuity.
Yeah, it did not in fact end with us. And yeah, we were not aware when we signed up to, voluntarily,
Yes.
obviously, we did this to ourselves, that we were going to be in this for a minute, but we're in it now.
It's the gift
So
that keeps on giving.
it is. And we will talk about it as things continue to
Absolutely.
come out. But I just wanted to give you an update about
Yes.
that. So that's why we haven't done that episode. We've life's been lifing over here, in a positive
Yeah.
way. I have some family in town. You had your child's school was canceled,
Yep.
due to some other things. So we've had some things
We have
going
had
on.
some things.
We've had some things.
Yeah.
But so other misinformation I've seen flying around. Okay, is this Oklahoma bill that is being put out. The posts that I've seen have said, like, this is going to ban romance
In the state of
books.
Oklahoma.
Okay. In the state
Yeah.
of Oklahoma. This dude,
This
um,
state legislator, this
yeah,
elected
state legislature,
official.
elected official has put forth a bill that essentially tries to ban pornography. Okay. That is the basics of the bill. And the problem is there's a couple things here. Number one, the bill as it is currently written, even in its most generous take, would not cover written
Yeah.
materials. Okay. So it's talking about video, and then the
Yeah.
like. Another problem with it is that it doesn't, it's not constitutional in which the way in which it is written. There is something, I mean, not that he cares, but there is something called the Miller test that
For
was
now.
issued by the Supreme Court
For
for
now there's
now,
for
that
now there's
currently,
something called the Miller test.
yeah, and so the Miller test requires that something, it talks about obscenity, right? And it's, what is obscenity? I know it when I see it. But that's one of the
Potter
quotes,
Stewart,
from the
man.
Supreme
I
Court.
know it when I see it.
Yeah, I know it when
Classic.
I see it. But the Miller test specifically talks about, like what you
Yeah.
see. We don't need to get into all of that. But
It
one of the
appeals to the
pieces,
prurient interest and all of that if it has
yeah,
no artistic, literary, political, or scientific value. Yeah.
overall, that the overall work has no scientific,
The lapse
artistic,
test,
political
yeah.
value. Yes. What this particular Oklahoma bill does is take that, and instead of saying overall, it allows you to pull out like a piece and ask if that has any scientific, artistic,
Oh,
or
so we're
political value.
drilling down and we're bypassing the over we're not taking the work as a whole. We are, if we can find anything
Yes.
in it that lacks any sort of redeeming
Yes.
value under the lapse test, we are banning it because we are afraid of consenting adults making their own decisions about how they have fun with
Yes.
their own bodies.
Yes, that is what this law does.
People
Now, is
have
that an
lost their
easy
damn minds.
I know. Is that an easy slippery slope to
It's
romance
huge.
novels?
That
1000%.
that is that is a
1000%.
s- that is a speeding train to romance
Yes.
novels.
So do I understand why people are alert. Yes.
Absolutely.
However, I will note that this elected official is notorious for putting up these types of bills. Okay. This is his shtick. This
He's
is
he's
what
he's
he
pandering to
does.
the base and doing stuff that he can raise money on and run for reelection with the support of. See, I did this
Yes.
in furtherance of
Right.
the things that you guys appreciate as part of
Look, I
our culture
tried.
war, right? Like
Yeah.
I'm the good guy. I understand the interpretation of this holy text and am now trying to legislate based on it the way you want me to. Now give me money so I can run for reelection.
I'd love to see this guy's browser history.
I'd
But
love to keep
also
him 100 yards away from my son.
that too. That too. But yeah, not one of his bills has ever been passed in the Oklahoma
No, there's a first
legislature.
time for
Okay.
everything.
There is always a first time for everything, but not one of them has ever been
Yeah,
passed. And also, he does this notoriously. This is what he does. He's
he's
drumming up
that
and,
guy.
to his base. He is pandering. So the fact that this is out there, not great. Is it going to go anywhere? Probably not. But the fact that it exists and it is real, yes, that is concerning. But I just want everybody to take a breath and not, dive off the deep end when they see things like this. Let's look at these things. Let's take a breath, realize that they're bad. Why are they bad? What could they lead to? But also recognize that this doesn't have any real
Yeah.
relevant,
Well,
effect right now.
it not to get too deeply political, but
We've
in the
already
post
dialed that up.
Roe world in which we live,
Yeah,
this is how it happened, right? Something that was seen by moderates and people from center to left as absolutely impossible.
sure.
It's how many times, how many sitting members of the Supreme Court are on record during their congressional hearings saying it's settled precedent, it's settled precedent,
Oh
it's
my
settled
God,
precedent,
all of them,
right? Like we could probably
100% of
pull
them.
out 9 video quotes of all 9 of them saying it's
Yeah,
settled precedent, right? And then one day it wasn't anymore, and
yeah,
that's scary in a situation like this where you just want the right to consume the entertainment that you want to consume as a consenting adult.
right. So I get
Yeah.
it. I
Yeah.
1000% agree, and I get it. I just want people. I've seen a lot of posts of people talking about how this is
Mhm.
happening right
Take a
now,
deep
and
breath.
like this is, yeah. Take a
It's
deep
it's a
breath.
threat,
Like,
but it's not real yet. Yeah.
correct, correct.
Yeah.
Just like how red, white, and blue land is not real yet. Okay,
I'm
so
sorry. The flooding the zone with all of the bullshit, the distractions and stuff. It I shouldn't laugh. It's not funny. People are going to be hurt.
as
But like it's such a circus. It's such a
it is.
circus.
As I told a Canadian friend when I laughed at something and she was like, "This is really serious. Like, we're not taking this, like, this isn't funny." And I was like, "Listen, I get it's not funny. I understand that. But we laugh because if we laugh, we will if we don't laugh, we will
Right.
cry." Like, and I cannot be in a
Right.
constant state of depression for 4
Listen,
years.
I have to
And so
make fun of the Gulf of America because these people could not
yeah,
respect transgender folks changing their names and their pronouns. But now we're calling a whole body of water by a brand new name because we don't like Mexicans anymore. Like, what the?
it's wild. The whole thing is
Right,
wild.
right. So
So
cope with that with a bit
we
of
have
dark
to laugh.
humor and laughter and making fun of the stuff that is actually so unserious. It is really laughable.
Yeah. But we recognize that these things are, potentially
Of course.
harmful.
Of course.
We're
And
not we're
not
not
everybody agrees about every piece of them either. Like, and that's okay
right.
too. For now, while we still don't have thought crime in this country, although that's probably going to happen eventually too.
Yeah. I so I tell you, I'm rewatching Handmaid's Tale
Oh
right now.
God, how I I'm sorry. I'm clinging to the neoliberal hope of West Wing and the newsroom and
Yeah. I mean, classic favorites, but no, well, there's a new season coming out in
yeah,
April. Okay, number
yes.
1. Number 2, I don't know. I'm a masochist. I don't know. I'm rewatching
No,
it.
you're a prepper is what you are.
Yeah, honestly, it's giving me
This
hope,
this is like you
and
politically color coding a spreadsheet for class or for work. Like
yes, that's
you're
basically
studying
what
the
this
game
is.
tape right now is what you're doing.
So, I am watching this and, it's really good the second time around. I think it's because, like, the first time you're so shocked
Yeah.
by everything that's happening. The second time you pick up on more and you can actually follow the story
Especially if you
more.
haven't read Atwood, because I The Handmaid's Tale is one of my favorite books from like my teen years. I found Margaret Atwood when we were probably in ninth or 10th grade. And my husband had never read Atwood at all, none of her stuff. And so when we watched it the first time together, like he was floored. And I'm like, oh, just wait until you see what happens.
Just wait and
Yeah.
see.
So there is that big shock value and that shock factor in the first watch, especially. But
Yeah.
you're taking more away from it now on the rewatch. Awesome,
Yeah. Oh,
awesome.
absolutely. So yeah. I mean, so that's what I'm doing. We're trying to prepare. I'm just asking everybody, take a deep
Yeah,
breath with misinformation as you see it. Let's, all come together
question
collectively to try to
everything.
make it through this. Question
Question everything.
everything. Yeah.
Do your own research.
Do your own
Facts don't
research.
care about your feelings.
Yes. And we will be back this next week with a representative from Penn
Yes,
America.
it's gonna be a great
And
episode.
we are so excited about that.
Absolutely.
So we will see you then. Thank you for coming to this episode of For Book's Sake.